Good morning, children. So today we'll continue yesterday chapters carbon and its compounds. Okay. We will try to know what are organic compounds. Okay. So there are two processes related to organic compounds or related to carbon. One is tetravalency. Okay. One is catenation. Okay. So please open the textbook and once you go through it. So many have the, see. So due to the nature of this, carbon has been useful for manufacturing as many as many compounds. Okay. So many have the same non-carbon atom of group of atoms attached to different carbon chains. Sometimes carbon is attached with many of the other atoms, mostly hydrogen. Okay. So these compounds were initially extracted from natural substance. First of these were initially extracted from natural compounds, and it was thought that these carbon compounds are organic compounds. These carbon compounds are, they are also called organic compounds, okay, could only be found within a living system. So there was a conception that only from the living compounds we are able to prepare organic compounds. Okay, so there are some scientists who try to go with other things. Okay, so there was a force called, there is a postulate called vital force was necessary for synthesis. Okay, whatever the compounds were made, for this the important force was required to prepare the carbon compound. Okay, and Frederick Wöhler disproved this in 1828. So in the year 1828, Frederick Wöhler, so he disproved that, what he disproved? He disproved that most of the carbon compounds are obtained from living organisms. So he disproved. How he disproved? He conducted an experiment. Okay. So he prepared urea from ammonium cyanide. What he did? Prepared urea. Actually, urea is an organic compound. From ammonium cyanide. Ammonium cyanide is an inorganic compound. Ammonium cyanide. So by using this, he prepared what? Ammonium cyanide. He used ammonium cyanide. So from ammonium cyanide he made urea. So urea is an organic compound. So okay. So this theory was. But carbon compounds, except for carbides, oxides of carbon, carbonate and hydrogen carbonate salts, continue to be studied under organic compounds. See, what are the carbon-related compounds except oxides of carbon? Okay, carbides, oxides of carbon, carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. So these only were studied under other branch, but almost excluding this, all of them were studied under subject called organic chemistry. Okay. Then we will go for next. I think we have started the concept of saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Okay. So I am using a word called hydrocarbon. You should know. Okay. Means the compounds which contain mostly hydrogen and carbon are called hydrocarbons. Okay. So saturated hydrocarbons, or you call saturated compounds, or unsaturated compounds. Okay. Here saturated compounds are represented single bond, unsaturated is represented by double and triple bond. Okay. So I think we have studied about chain compounds. We studied about chain, branch and rings. We'll study about this. Okay. So I write a formula like C. So these are chain compounds. Okay. If I write like this C, 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 and here one C, these are called branched compounds. Branched compounds. Okay. Again, for all these there is a naming also. If they contain one hydrogen, one carbon, they are called methane. Two carbon atoms, they are called ethane. Three carbon atoms they contain, they are called propane. Okay, so this is example for chain. A long chain is there. Chain compounds. Okay, so these are all branched. Okay, we will discuss about ring also. So again in branched we have different types. Here we have normal, iso, neo. Okay, I think we have studied already. Normal pentane. Suppose if I give example of pentane, or this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pentane. So this is actually called neopentane because this is having a branched one. Okay. Again, if this can be written in another way also. What are chain compounds? See, these all names are given by IUPAC. Okay. And these I will write 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the name of this? The name of this is 4 carbon atoms. It contains, what is the name? Butane. Okay. So this is actually called structural formula, but molecular formula is C4H10. Okay. Now I'll write one more like this. Again 1, 2. Here I will make like this. Okay, H. So again, if you count here, how many carbon atoms are there? 4 are there. Hydrogen atoms, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10 are there. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. C4H10. So, if the molecular formula is same, the compounds, see, here both of them are having the same molecular formula but different structure formula. So, such compounds where they have same chemical formula, same molecular formula, identical molecular formula, but different structure are called isomers. These are called isomers. Okay. So this is the case of isomerism, chain isomerism. Okay. Now we will go for ring structure. What is the ring structure? We will try to know. So these all are called branched structure. One is chain structure, one is branch structure, one is ring structure. How ring structure we will try to find it. So we wrote two structures. One is straight carbon chain, and one is branched carbon chain. Straight carbon is only one long line of carbon, and we joined with hydrogen. Branch means we took many carbon and we made branches. So that is straight carbon atoms, straight or branched carbon chains. Now, we are having some examples of the carbon atoms arranged in a chain ring like ring it is arranged. So, for example, cyclohexane. Okay. So, actually, structure of cyclo means how much? Is a ring. Hexane means hexane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexane. So cyclo is chain like this. Okay, it is a chain structure. Let's see here. C. So this is cyclohexane means ring structure. Okay. So this is actually called skeleton of carbon. We call carbon skeleton. Generally we call carbon skeleton. Okay. And if you create complete molecule of cyclohexane, the formula of cyclohexane is C6H12. Okay. That's why I told. Hexane means 6 carbon atoms. Again we can write here 6, 1, 2, so here I will write 1, 2, again these are joined with 2 carbon atoms. Here it is joined with 2 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 1, 2, again there is 1, 2, again there is 1, there is 2, one carbon atoms, one hydrogen atom, 2, here also the same case, H and H. So this is 6,6,C6H12. So this is cyclohexane. Okay, it is a complete molecule. If I write only like this, this becomes carbon skeleton. If I write it is like this, it becomes complete molecule. Okay. So one more we can write. Suppose straight chain carbon atoms. So these are actually called cyclic carbon atoms, cyclic hydrocarbons. Okay. All may be saturated or unsaturated. For example, benzene has a following structure. Okay. Most of them are saturated and unsaturated also. Okay. Cyclohexane is saturated because they have single bond. If they contain 2 or 1 or 2 or 3 bond, then it is called what? Unsaturated hydrocarbon. So I will write benzene. Benzene is C6H6. The chemical formula of benzene is C6H6. Benzene C6H6. Okay. C6 how you write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So join here, join here, join here, join here, join here. But if I leave like this, this becomes hexane. So you have to fill up the bonds here. So first you write here H, you write here H, 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 H. So this here we have one bond and one bond. So this becomes benzene. Okay. So all the carbon compound which contain only carbon hydrocarbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. Okay. So all carbon compounds which contain only carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. They are called hydrocarbons because they are made up of only hydrogen and carbon. So among these saturated hydrocarbons are called alkanes. Right here. Okay. Saturated hydrocarbons are called alkanes. Okay. Unsaturated are called. In unsaturated again we have two types. What is that? Alkenes, alkynes. So based on carbon atoms bonding, we divide them as saturated as alkanes, unsaturated as alkenes and alkynes. Okay. So this is about structure of carbon. Okay. See, saturated hydrocarbons are those which are, these are also called alkanes, and alkanes are containing what? Single bond. Okay. And unsaturated compound which are containing double or triple bond. If they contain double bond, they are called alkenes. If they contain triple bond, they are called alkynes. Okay. Now we will try to find how whether carbon and hydrogen only are the compounds in the organic chemistry, or many other compounds are. Because I told already there is one property of carbon called catenation. It has the ability to form as many as compounds with many other elements other than hydrogen. So that is why we have to know what compounds are formed by linking with other elements. Okay. So carbon seems to be very friendly element. This is very friendly element as it is told. So far we have discussed, we are looking as carbon compounds containing carbon hydrogen only. Till now we studied only carbon hydrogen compounds, but carbon has, I told, carbon has ability to form as many as compounds by bonding, and it will form as many as compounds with elements like halogens are there, oxygen it will mix up, nitrogen it is joined, sulfur it will join, and it forms many number of organic compounds. Okay. Okay. So in a hydrogen chain, one or more hydrogen can be replaced by these elements such as valence of carbon remains satisfied. Suppose in any hydrocarbon chain, if there is a long chain, instead of H we can put chlorine, we can put sulfur, or how to put, even if you put their valency of the carbon should be satisfied, then only it is able to form a new compound other than hydrogen. Okay. In such compounds, the element replacing hydrogen refers to as heteroatom. In such compounds, suppose if I write like this, what is the name of the compound? It is butane. Okay, it is butane. Instead of H, I will write I will add one other element other than hydrogen. So if I write chlorine, now this is called heteroatom, different atom, because they all are same. These all atoms attached with carbon are same, but this is different. That's why this is called heteroatom. Okay. So those heteroatoms are also present in some groups as given in table 4.3. If you check the table, it has given clearly. If chlorine and bromine is present, suppose if I told, if chlorine is present here, okay, so this class of compounds are called haloalkanes. These are called haloalkanes. Okay. Again, this functional group, wait. So there is heteroatom. Okay. So what compounds can be formed? So class, what type of compound they are formed, and there is a formula of functional group. There is a formula for which group? Functional group. What is functional group? So this will indicate the property. Functional group will indicate the property of that particular compound formed here. Okay. these heteroatoms and the group, these confer specific properties of the chemical compound regardless of the length and nature of carbon chain. That's what I told. This functional group will indicate the property, whatever how much long the chain is related to be. But if the functional group is present, that functional group will indicate the property of that particular compound. Okay. So some important functional groups are given in 4.3. Suppose I told heteroatom. Okay. So class, they gave class here. So if I write Cl or bromine, chlorine or bromine, okay. So they are called, that class is called halo. They are called halo. Halo is the name used for what? Halogens. Chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine. So for halogens we are using. So if there is a single bond, we call it as haloalkanes. Okay. And functional group will be written as Cl or Br. Okay. Cl or Br. Okay. And if it reacts, if the hetero group, if the other group is oxygen, then there is formation of many other compounds, like one is alcohol. Okay. So alcohol, the functional group of alcohol is represented as OH. Okay. And suppose if it is aldehyde. Okay. In oxygen only if there is OH, it is called alcohol. In the oxygen only if it is aldehyde, we write as CH double bond O, aldehyde. Okay. Suppose if there is ketone, so group is represented as C like this and O, ketone. And if the group is having carboxylic acid, okay, so it is represented as COOH. COOH will be the functional group, and these all will indicate the property of that particular compound form. Okay. Now, so free valence or valencies of the group are shown by the single line. So valency or free valency, to this they are attached. This carbon chain is attached to this chain. Whatever the remaining things all are, it will attach to this part, and this will indicate the property. So aldehyde, CHO, if it is there, it has particular property. So I will give an example of alcohol. Okay. So alcohol nowadays it is used in hand sanitizer. Okay. That's why it smells like alcohol. Okay. Suppose if I write alcohol is actually it is C2H5OH. So OH indicates what? Alcohol. This is what? C2H5. If I write C2H6, it is what? What is this? It is ethane. If I remove one hydrogen and instead of one hydrogen I will put OH. So this becomes what? Ethyl alcohol or ethanol. So these all are functional group which will indicate the properties.